Hello, welcome to the Year 7 Meet the Tutor event. It's a real shame that we're obviously not able to meet in person, but I hope that by having this assembly, it will give you some idea of who I am and the role that I have in school, and also a little bit more information that your kids may not have told you about how we work here at school. Obviously, part of us being at Case Road, we pride ourselves on being more than just a school. We definitely talk about our three Bs, which we'll go through later. We talk almost about culture, character, and currency, which we promote to our students throughout every day they're here within school. My role specifically is that I see your children every single day. I see them for about half an hour. Usually it is an hour, however, on PSHE days, which we have once a week. And I'm the first point of contact for your students when they arrive in the morning, and generally the first point of call for their pastoral care. I'll get to know the people in the form very well, so it'll allow me to build nice, strong, healthy relationships with them throughout, hopefully, Year 7 all the way to Year 11. There are actually 11 form groups that we have in Year 7 as well, and ideally I will stay with this form group for 5 years. So I will have them from Year 7 all the way up to Year 11, which will allow me to build a really nice sort of bonding relationship with them, which will really allow me to get to know them very well. My job really is about celebrating their achievements in school, encouraging them to do well every single day, and making sure that I guide them through any problems and issues that they have to make sure that they have someone here at school that they can really try and open up to and make sure that we're helping them sort of with their day-to-day needs. There are obviously elements of my role where I'm aiming to make sanctions in terms of lateness, uniform, missing equipment. We do different checks in the morning as well on uniform, equipment, and things to make sure that your students are prepared for the day ahead, and just to make sure that they represent the school in the right way with their uniform as well. Another part about my role is obviously I welcome the students every morning. As I said, I do get to see them for 30 minutes. Usually some of them get here a little bit earlier, so I get to see them a little bit longer than that as well. But it's nice to have that 30 minutes of consistency every morning, just so I can really get to know them. We complete the register every single morning. We do that in silence. We go through the pupil bulletin if there's anything that they need to know. And I always check that they have the correct equipment, including their reading book and their face masks as well. I check their uniform, and I also deliver form time activities and the PSHE. So I am obviously seeing them every single morning, but there's a lot of different things that we do in that form time. We do lots of different activities during each day, but also there's those basic sort of equipment checks, making sure that they're here on time, making sure that they're prepped and ready to go for the day as well. So this is what we actually do throughout the week in form time. So on Mondays we have our assembly, which is virtual now, but we deliver that to them on Mondays. On Tuesdays we do an hour form time, which is PSHE. So we'll be covering lots of different topics, which we'll go through later in this presentation. On Wednesdays we do silent reading. On Thursdays, we do what is register and read. So we'll have some of the students read out a passage on the board, and we'll analyse and critique that passage. And then on Friday, we'll have enrichment, and that is actually where sometimes I won't necessarily be in the form on that Friday morning, and you'll have a different Year 7 form tutor from the 11 that are available rotate round and deliver an enrichment activity, which is something that will benefit them. So this is what we're doing in PSHE at the moment. We are currently on Autumn B. We've already covered friendship, anti-bullying, and mental health in Autumn A. We're now looking at careers, aspirations, and money. And as you can see by the PowerPoint, these are the things that we're going to be covering throughout up until Summer B as well. So these are all the topics that we will go through on Tuesdays in PSHE with them. So we pride ourselves on having the three Bs throughout our school values. So those three Bs, what we try and make sure that we promote throughout every single lesson, which are be positive, be respectful, and be your best. Now, these are awarded at the end of every lesson, and you can get up to 4 of these 3B awards every lesson because you can get one for form time as well. And we look to try and promote those, and we say that it's about being positive, be respectful, and be your best from the moment you come into school to the moment that you leave. And we want them to try and achieve as many 3B points as they can throughout every single lesson. There's a little bit on the PowerPoint as well, which you can see that says about whether your child has told you about the B ethos, which is in Year 7, which if they haven't asked you about, if they haven't told you about make sure that they tell you, which we try and promote with the ethos for year 7s as well. These are how the achievement points will be working. So for every single lesson, these are what the students are available to get. So you'll notice that on their Firefly accounts, we have green points for positive and red points are the negative points. For example, the 3B points that they can get, every single one is worth 1 point. The good work is also worth a point, as well as reading. You'll notice that when it goes up to extraordinary works, for phone calls home, positive referrals, they go up to about 5 points each. And it's interesting that you can see how your student is doing throughout their school year and whether there's any positive and negative points that they've picked up. So we like to make celebrations as well. Usually we have an end of term achievement assemblies. I think they'll look very different at the moment, but we do like to celebrate at the end of term all the great things that they've done. We have different subject nominations as well. So each subject will nominate those students from each year group that they think have been performing really, really well. We also try and do social events and trips when obviously the time permits. We'll hopefully be able to do more of those again. Letters and phone calls home. Obviously, if your child is doing really well, it's great to receive a nice phone call home about how well they're doing in maybe a specific lesson. Achievement postcards as well. Year 7 notice board. We continue to do weekly assemblies, and within those assemblies we'll celebrate any achievements that have really come up through the week. And there's many other rewards as well which they'll get throughout the week and the time that they're here during term, which they can try and achieve and push themselves to challenge, because there's so many great achievements that students actually have. It's great to try and celebrate all the great things that they're doing. So lots of different clubs and events are usually available at school. Unfortunately, the clubs and events are currently on hold due to COVID, but we are keen to get these up and running again when the time comes. There is a list of the different clubs that are available on the school website. There are things that are offered before school, after school, and at lunchtime. For example, there's drama, sport, music, ICT, games, different things like that that usually are available to all those students. And we do say that when the restrictions are lifted, and hopefully the time will come soon that we're able to offer these again, that it's great that if they can attend that, and it'll be really nice to see the student come in because it really does enrich part of their learning. As well, we have a house system. So the house that we represent is Hillary House. There are 5 houses and 2 houses per year group, made up of Hillary, Barda, Keller, Nuffield, and Royal. And each half term there are sports competitions as well, and all the achievements on Firefly count towards the overall house challenge. All right, you'll be able to see that there is hopefully a wandering challenge trophy, and then sports day as well, which is our big event of the year, which really gets everyone excited about the house competitions as well. So there's lots of things that we try and promote through the house system, and we try and encourage them to get involved in lots of different activities when they arise as well. For the organisation of your student, they obviously should have their student handbook every single day. Not only has that got their whiteboard with them, which some lessons obviously utilise, they have a lot of information about the equipment they should have every day, map of the school. There's lots of different helpful information within their handbook that they should be having on them every single day. Communication in terms of to myself, I think is quite important. I would have obviously made contact with everybody's parents at home just to make the initial introduction, introduce myself, and make sure that if you obviously have any issues, please don't hesitate to give me a call here at school, and hopefully we'll be able to communicate in case there's any positives, negatives, anything like that that you may be worried about as well. And it's great to have sort of communication with myself. Obviously, Miss Boone, who is the head of year, and Mr. Austin, who is a student support officer. For any other sort of queries, please don't hesitate to give them a contact. And also, if there's any subject-specific queries, please contact the relevant department as well, including the special education department, which you may want to contact. So we talked about a little bit about how to actually help your child maybe going forward on the day. We talk about actually just being organised. So it's just packing the bag the night before, making sure they've got all the equipment, making sure that the uniform is out ready to go. We'd like to talk about fuel for school, so having breakfast, enough lunch and enough water to last for the whole day. There should maybe be a homework schedule and routine at home just to make sure that homework's handed in on time, you're not missing any deadlines. We like to encourage the use of Firefly. Obviously, homework is set on Firefly, but it's nice to have those discussions about positive and negative points as well. We like to encourage reading, so we have silent reading on Wednesdays in form time, and we like to encourage your students to get involved with as much reading as possible. We like to say when clubs are available, extracurricular involvement is really great, I think, for their development. And we like to say that mobile devices left downstairs at night time as well. We like to try and limit the amount of time they're on their phones. We know that during school time we don't have any mobile phones. It's great to have them off their phone as much as possible. In terms of uniform, the basic expectations for uniform on the school website, we say that it should be purchased from COS or PMG to avoid any issues. I will be checking the uniform daily as they walk in to make sure that they've got the right equipment. Head of year and senior staff also conduct uniform checks, but please let me know if there's any issues in terms of uniform. That will include PE kit and things like that. So please don't hesitate to give me a call if there's any issues on that. And this is our last little bit. It's about our commitment to learning, attitude to homework. There's lots of different data that subjects will do that gives your child a grade based on a 4-tier scale, depending on their attitude and their commitment to learning, and in terms of attitude to homework. And it's great that you're able to see how your child is doing. And there's different data checks which we have in October, January, April, and July. Hopefully you've received the first one as well. And we say that it's important to monitor rewards, such as receiving positive letters home, as many have had from the last data drop, or perhaps even a special B badge, which some students have received here in Year 7. But we've also said it's important because it can lead to monitoring. So, for example, CTL report, where students have to show they're making improved marks in their progress, and it's just allowing us to see where your child is currently at and the progress that they're making in terms of their attitude and their behaviour and their commitment to learning in school. So there is also a video of a day in life of a Year 7. This is available on the school website. If you want to have a look at a day in life in the Year 7, please feel free to open it up on the school website and have a look. If you have any more questions at all, please don't hesitate to give me a call here at school. Hopefully this assembly has given you a little bit more of an insight into who I am and the role that I play here at school. Like I said, hopefully we'll be in contact, and if there's any problems, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Thank you. Bye.